Hey guys, this is week 2, and we're talking about the skin, which is right here. And I'm going to go over some of the basic stuff that you'll need to know for the skin. Now, if you see this is a different place that I'm at right now, you can see a little picture of there. That's a little drawing of one of my students did for me in the high school that I teach in. Actually, here's the whole classroom as we go. Say hi, everybody. No, there's no one here because today is a development day, and I just happen to have some time to do this. So I'm doing this now. This is three layers of the skin. Okay, the main thing is there's three layers of the skin. We're gonna do this in 5 minutes. Okay, you have the hair follicles or the hair shaft, right? And this is the follicle down through here. And what that follicle is the root, and this is where all the growth starts. Next to each hair and through here is what's called a sebaceous gland. Sebaceous is the oil you get for your hair and your skin. You have them all over the place. Next to it is this little thing through here is a muscle called the erector pili muscle. And that's one that when you get freaked out or something, that little hair stand up on your head also keeps you warm. Thermoregulation is a big thing for the skin. Remember this part up through here, this little area up to the little squiggly line, that's the epithelium. Epithelium is the outer cover. It's made up of keratinized, right? These cells through here are keratinized, which means they're waterproof, and they're basically dead. Dead skin flies off you at about 30,000 skin cells per minute, for every 5 minutes, something like that. And in a lifetime, you fill up a whole house with skin. If you look around your house and you scrape on top of stuff like the refrigerator and you see a bunch of dust, big portion of that's actually human skin and animal dander. Dander's skin. That's all it is. As we come down through the hair shaft and through here, we have other things that lead up from here. This guy here, these would be an artery, and I have like one's pouring out and one's going in. So that would be either like arteries and veins, and that's down in the hypodermis. We have hypodermic needles, needles that stick in, somewhere, stick in the arm underneath hypo, the dermis. The dermis is this middle layer through here. This is whole layer in the center. The middle layer, so three layers, right? You have the epidermis, the dermis, the hypodermis. Hypodermis can also be called subcutaneous because we give subcutaneous injections in the hypodermis with a hypodermic needle. I don't know why it's changed like that, but that's the way it is. Other things too, up and through here, we have melanocytes, right? Melanocytes make melanin. Melanin gives your skin that beautiful dark color. When you have a darker color, that means you have a superpower, which is it protects you from UV radiation from the sun. So the people whose ancestry comes from like the equator, their system has a better defense against UV radiation. And as people left those areas and started wandering north, they needed more clothing, they needed more shelter, so they stayed inside more and they put on more things, and they started losing some of that melanin. And there's two reasons for that. Number one is because they didn't need it, and number two because they wanted to absorb some more vitamin D, because vitamin D is very important, and you get it through sunlight. Right through sunlight, UV radiation helps you develop vitamin D inside the skin. Vitamin D is useful for hormones and bones and immune system and all that kind of stuff. So very good things. As we get down into here, we talked about the hair shaft follicle. We talked about the root of the hair. We talked about the erector pili muscle. These kind of guys down through here are called papillae. And what those are is like little like indentations that kind of like hang on to the lower tissues. And if you've ever fallen down and gotten a scrape, you'll see little dots, and that's what those are, most likely. Okay. As we get down through here, we have a bunch of fat tissue. This is the hypodermis again, and then back to the dermis. Okay. Dermis is always like the main thing. Most things are in the dermis. Okay. So we have this one is a sweat gland. So you have sweat glands and you have sebaceous glands. You have nerves. That's this little black thing down here, I guess, is a nerve. And then we have arteries and veins. So there's a big, quick, easy peasy jump into the skin. When you're answering questions about the skin, it's always going to ask about things like the three layers. It's going to ask like what the functions of skin. And the functions of skin are going to be synthesis of vitamin D, protection, right? Immune response. It's going to have to do with melanin production, thermoregulation, those kind of things. And even when we're talking about the hair's purpose is it keeps things off you. It lets you know that things are there or not there, whatever it is. And it also helps with some thermoregulation, right? Thermoregulation means controlling of heat. And so if you get cold, you shiver, right? And that's those little erector pili muscles and um, other smooth muscle in that system. And if you get too hot, you sweat. And that's this guy over here. Right? Sweat makes water and it releases salt and water, and that evaporates from you and makes you feel cooler. So anyway, there you go. 5 minutes. See, I told you guys. 5 minutes. That's it. We're all done. And I'll do another one about bones in a little bit. Talk to you later. Bye. Let me know if you have any troubles. Everything else is looking really good, by the way. Good job.